And so she's not Lila, she's the Harbinger. I gotta get that right in my head. She's the Harbinger. She's no longer just Diggle's wife. Or maybe Batwoman will have too much of an important role. She just likes punching people. Like, she punched Lila square in the face. Shit. She punched the Harbinger square in the face. Hey everybody, it's PB here, and I'm back with another review. This time for Supergirl, Season 5, Episode 9, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 1. And this might be the best Supergirl episode that I have ever seen. And all that she needed to prop her up was every other superhero that they have in the CW Arrowverse. That's all she needed. It was real simple. Like, her show was doing mediocre, and they're like, what can we do to make this better? Oh, we will start the Crisis on Earth 38 with Kara and Kal-El, and we will continue the story from there. So the episode starts off, and it's got the Monitor giving some intro for how all of the universe started. That it was just black, and then boom, essentially the Big Bang Theory is what created the Monitor and Anti-Monitor? I don't know. He explains it, but he doesn't really explain it. It's one of the tricks to being the Monitor. He'll give you an explanation without giving you any kind of explanation. But all of the heroes that we have on Earth 38 at the DEO start to feel this earthquake. And they don't know what's going on because none of the sensors went off. Come to find out, it's the entire Earth that's shaking. It is a literal quaking of the Earth. Not just a little section, but the whole fucking thing. And then they find out that there's this antimatter wave that's just wiping out universes. And it's in their universe currently, and it's working its way here. And all of a sudden, a tower pops up in the middle of the city. National City. Obviously, that's the city they were going to pick because that's where Kara is. That makes sense to me. But I'm pretty sure that it killed at least a couple dozen, if not a couple hundred, maybe even a couple thousand. It's in the middle of town, and it just shoots up and pushes the other frickin' buildings out of the way. Like, what are you doing? I thought you're supposed to be heroes. Aren't we here to save lives, not end lives? I mean, I don't think that the Monitor necessarily cares. He only cares about himself, from what I can tell. I don't know. Well, they find out in the computer, Brainy tells them that this universe-killing wave is going to hit Argo City before it hits anything else. So they freak out. They're like, oh, we gotta let Superman know what's going on. This is going to be a problem. So then they cut over to Superman, and he's being extra nice to Lois. Like saying, I want the baby to be just like you. I don't want it to be like me, the shining light on the hill that is Superman. But that's just because Superman's a nice guy. He's going to say, well, yeah, I want it to be like you because you ain't got nothing like you. Like, you're just a regular woman. He's never going to live up to my standards, so why even try? He can definitely be better than you. You're just a reporter, Lois. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Superman. I get you. I get you entirely. Well, they want to evacuate Argo City, and surprise, surprise, since they're Kryptonians, there's only one spaceship, and it's only big enough for one baby. So, Clark and Lois have to put baby Jonathan in the spaceship, and boom, he gets whisked away by the spaceship. And then we find out that Lila, as the Harbinger, is collecting heroes from different Earths inside of Earth 1, or from different shows inside of Earth 1, and then taking everybody to Earth 38, because that's where they gotta make their stand. And I found out here, because they hadn't told us yet, Batwoman is confirmed to be on Earth 1, so she's on the same Earth as the Flash and the Oliver that we have been following. So it'll be interesting to see if they intertwine her story more with the Flash, if it is able to continue, considering her ratings are kind of shit. And then, we thought that Superman is dead. He got killed by the anti-monitor wave. No, he's fine. They picked him up. Lila, beamed him out of there. They were saved. The Harbinger wins again. But Batwoman did not like getting pulled out of where she was. She was about to get a rabbit to talk. She was going to make that rabbit frickin' squeal. Real bad. It was going to say more than what the rabbit said in Of Mice of Men. He was going to get that rabbit to sing. So what does she do? She cocks back and she punches Lila in the face. I mean the Harbinger. That's right. This is one of those, I don't know, Bran the Broken situations where he's not Bran anymore. He's a three-eyed raven. So she's not Lila. She's the Harbinger. I gotta get that right in my head. She's the Harbinger. She's no longer just Diggle's wife. Whatever. Okay. Or she's running Argus. She's not doing that. She's trying to save everything. Okay, cool. They tell us this quantum tower, apparently that's the key to our salvation. It is able to stop this wave of energy that's destroying everything. I don't know why they don't tell us how it does it. They just say that it does. So just accept it. They don't explain how it's supposed to happen, but without explaining it, we can't say how it doesn't stop it. We can't say, oh, well, that don't make sense because they don't explain it. So that's probably smart on their end. We can't say, oh, well, it doesn't work that way because they don't tell us how it works. So that's good writing, I would say, in this sense. But Superman, he's getting all sulky. I don't understand what his problem is. And Oliver, of all of the people out there, Oliver has to be the one to talk Superman into the proper course of action. I don't know what's up with this particular Superman, what his problem is. You would think that he would know what to do and he doesn't have to just go flying off to do one little thing. He wanted to go and figure out where his kid landed instead of protecting this tower that's supposed to save billions of people. You need to protect this tower, guy. You don't need to go find a kid. Send somebody else to do it. Send someone from the DEO to go pick up that kid. It's not a problem. So then they're all getting ready to go defend this quantum tower, and Oliver passes his quiver to Mia. So I don't know. I don't remember if they said they're going to start a new show or not, or what's going on with this exact storyline, because it seems like they're putting a lot of effort into it for Arrow ending. I mean, I like this moment. They actually did a little training together. He has showed her some of his tricks. He knows he's not going to make it through the crisis. Now is the time to pass the quiver. Good on you, Oliver. Thank you for passing the quiver. Well, after that, he gets super pissed off at the Monitor because he finds out that Barry thinks that he's going to die. And he's like, what the hell, Marnovu? I don't remember which name he uses. He's like, what is your problem, man? You said that I traded my life for their lives. That was the problem. He's like, no. That was last year's crossover. That was for Elseworlds. This is a whole new problem. Like, he's demanding answers, and once again, he says a whole bunch. You get a bunch of rhetoric out of the Monitor, but you ain't getting no answers. That's just how it goes. But they believe that even if they can't save everybody on Earth 38, they can always fall back. Well, where do you fall back if your entire universe is getting destroyed? You fall back to a different universe. So they're gonna make a giant-ass portal to go from Earth 38 to Earth 1, I believe. So they gotta grovel to Lena. So Alex goes and grovels to Lena to help her save the world. And Lena's like, well, fuck yeah! Of course I'm gonna save the world. It's my world too. I'm not a villain the way that you guys think I'm a villain. My last name might be Luther, but I'm not a villain. That is not what's happening right here at all. You're misconstruing the situation. I just don't like you, Alex, because you've been pissing me off for several years, just constantly lying to me when I thought we were friends. So yes, I will help all of you save the people if we're not able to stop the Anti-Monitor. Because apparently, when this quantum tower stops the wave, the Monitor tells us that the Anti-Monitor is going to send his army. Little do we know, his army is a bunch of frickin' shadow ghouls that fly around. I don't know exactly how you kill the shadow ghouls, but it seems like an arrow to the face, some beam weapons, some hits with a canary staff, like whatever the heroes are doing to take these shadows out is working. Everybody's specialty is able to take out these shadow beings. I don't know what they're called. They don't say what they're called in the show. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me in some comic what they're called. I don't know. I don't read the comics. I just watch the TV shows and the movies. And this episode that I watched is pretty damn good. All you had to do was put all the other heroes in it with Supergirl, instead of her saying a bunch of cringy shit. I mean, they're battling it out, and they start falling behind. Because there was no Superman, and no Supergirl, and no Flash. So they show up just in time. And they're fighting and fighting and fighting. And it's a pretty decent fight scene. It goes on for several minutes. Come to find out, well, they can't continue to fight shadows forever, which you would think the Monitor would know something like this. So he just starts taking the heroes and poof, transporting them to Earth 1. He's going one by one, and he's like, or Oliver, Oliver asks him, well, did we get everybody off the planet? And he's like, no, we didn't get everyone off the planet yet. We're not even close to that. Not close at all. And he's like, well, then we got a problem. So he shoots the Monitor with an arrow so that he stops transporting people. And he's the only one left on Earth 38. He's the only one left fighting this entire army. And then they cut to commercial. I was like, oh, damn. And they come back, and everyone's in the Arrow hideout, in the nest, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know. They're in the giant quiver. They're in the hidden quiver. I don't know. I don't remember what they call it. Anyway, when the Monitor shows up with Oliver, he's all beat to hell. All beat to hell. I was like, well, I would think the Monitor, maybe he's got something to help him out. No. Apparently, that's the big bombshell for Crisis, is Oliver knew that he was going to die, and he dies right here, right at the end of the beginning of the first episode of Crisis on Infinite Earths. They kill off the Green Arrow. I don't know how the hell they're going to be able to win the Crisis on Infinite Earth without having the guy who is holding everybody together. Imagine, just for a moment, if you were watching Endgame, you know, the only other connected universe out there that's doing it properly, or at least they had up to that point, other than, you know, maybe one or two missteps along the way. Captain Marvel. Anyway, imagine watching Endgame, and at the beginning of the movie when they're working on the ship, Tony Stark doesn't make it, and dies at the beginning of the movie. That's what they did in Crisis. They killed off the guy who is the glue to the universe, the one that started everything off at the end of the episode. Which means that, Barry Allen, step up. You are the best of us. This is the way. Anyway, that's pretty much the overview of the episode. I thought it was excellent. It was at least an 8, probably a 9. I don't think you'll be able to talk me into a 10 because you still had Batwoman and Supergirl saying terribly cringy lines. And I swear, sometimes they make Superman look like a punk. You can't be making Superman look like a punk, you sons of bitches. Knock it off. That's not appropriate. Not appropriate. Like, you're gonna have this big emotional moment at the end. I can't be thinking about, well, how come Superman was being a little bitch before and Oliver had to talk him into doing the appropriate stuff? Now Oliver ain't gonna be there. Superman gonna be a fucking bitch later? And they'll be like, well, we ain't got nobody to figure this problem out. Shit. You know, Supergirl ain't gonna be around to fix it because she's gonna have too much of an important role. Or maybe Batwoman will have too much of an important role. She just likes punching people. Like, she punched Lila square in the face. She punched the Harbinger square in the face. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this initial Crisis on Infinite Earths. Because if you don't think that it was the best Supergirl episode that they've ever made, I would love for you to tell me which one is. So until next time, I bid you adieu. If you are enjoying the content, please hit subscribe and ding the bell for notifications. That way you will never miss an upload by Pop Culture PB.